That is the order of the Senate.
Sir, order 10 on privileges.
Just imagine how the Senate House of Nigeria would be if every member of the House speaks unruly to the Senate President. Just imagine all the members shouting at the Senate President, just as Senator Natasha did in this particular House sitting.
So, Mr. Senate President, I am not afraid of further incitement. I will not be shocked to the point. I choose, as the Senator duly elected by my people, I choose to remain on this seat.
Where the Senate President, in line with the laid down constitutional rights of the Senate House, which accords the Senate President the right and privilege to allocate seats to all members of the House, the President acted in accordance to the rule, but Senator Natasha, for whatsoever reason, violated the rule and, of course, disrespected the office of the Senate President publicly. She did this by, first of all, refusing to take up the seat allocated to her by the Senate President.
Two senators from the PDP, that is Senator Ned Nwonko.
Which faction of PDP?
And also Senator Francis Ezenwa of the Labour Party, also decamped to APC, thereby necessitating their movement from the other side to this side, thereby creating vast spaces in the opposition side. And in the exercise of the powers conferred on the Senate President, President of the Senate decided to rearrange this seat. And I'm not surprised to report that Senator Natasha, having given another seat, refused to vacate her former seat. Now that Senator Natasha insisted on staying on her former seat in spite of the rearrangement of the seat, I am craving for indulgence to resume the seat that has been lawfully allocated to her.
Then secondly, the act of shouting at the Senate President publicly. This is, of course, a bad example to intending future senators. I think what Senator Natasha would have done differently in this case was to just obey the order of the Senate President by taking up the seat which he allocated to her, and I'm sure not just her, including other House members. What she would have done was to obey the order and take up the seat which the Senate President has allocated to her. And while sitting on that seat, she can then address the Senate President as well as the House members. Alright, she can now pour out her heart and make it known that, hey, I am not okay with this seat that is allocated to me for so reason. I am going back to my seat.
Dismissed Senator Natasha, please, you are not recognized to speak from there. That is the order of the Senate.
Sir, order 10 on privileges.
Now, because trying to voice out from her former seat, of course, it's against the rule. She will not be accorded the audience. Alright, so unless she does not know the laid down rules of the House, if she knows the rules of the House, she should have known better that she will not be given the right to speak from that position. Alright, but attacking the Senate President publicly like this is totally out of place. I personally believe that this would have averted this whole drama, which has laid another bad example to our children out there who will grow up to be future leaders in this same house. Who knows, maybe by then one might slap the Senate President. I think such behavior demands an apology. Alright, such behavior demands an apology, and is something that she has to do, because recall that the Senate President once had fallout with Senator Natasha, but then he recognized that he was at fault and he apologized to her for saying that the House is not a nightclub. That was wrong, and he recognized that and apologized. So in this case, Senator Natasha seemed to be wrong and should apologize to the Senate President for disobeying his order, which he made in line with the House rules And secondly, for disrespecting him and the entire Senate House and the entire country, because the world is watching. Other countries are watching these things, and it's really shameful. Can a House member be shouting at the Senate president who acted on his right? Come on. Shouting at him like a dog. This is uncalled for.
Please hit the like and subscribe button.